Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय श्री राधा गिरधारी भगवान की जय। Jai Shri Radha Shyam Sundar ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Neela Madhav ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Kunj Bihari ki Jai. Jai Shri Radha Landaneshwar ki Jai. Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai. Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories. Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. Jai Shri Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Krishna Balram ki Jai. Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswamiti Namini. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatai. Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. You're doing all right. Anyone is having any issues, any struggles? All are doing well. If you nod your head, I can't see you because I'm already doing other things. So you'll have to say something. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, all good, provision.
Okay. Only one person is all good?
All good, Prabhuji. Yes, everything is okay.
Hare Krishna. Okay, well. Sorry, somebody is checking somewhere. I can't see. Yes, I'm not freezing. I'm working on because it is my mobile phone I'm using. So whenever I'm uploading things, doing things in the background, it freezes my screen. Okay, Hare Krishna. Let us continue with our discussion. So today's discussion, excuse me, something happened there again. Right. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing the topics of Lord Krishna, Janmashtami festival, where we are talking about how the inhabitants of Vrindavan were so fortunate that they could achieve things, the topmost siddhi, where ordinary living beings, Jnanis, Yogis could not. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Radhe Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam, Hare Krishna. Okay, so how all the Gopas and inhabitants of Vrindavan enjoyed the company of Krishna, which even yogis, Jnanis, and ordinary people can never achieve. Now, when we think about yogis, we think about Ashtanga Yoga. where bodily exercises is going on there. That's all right in a way. But to talk about the process of yoga, it is very difficult. It takes many lifetimes to perfect it. There are basically 8 limbs of the yoga process, which is yam, niyam, asana, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So meaning that yam meaning the process of abstinence. Enjoyment is there, the facility is there, but we are not enjoying. That is the meaning of it. Facility is there, but we are not enjoying it. It's not an easy process. It's a process of abstinence. Then there is niyam. So do's and don'ts, observance. So many principles to be observed for the yoga practice. It's very, very austere, very difficult. The Naga Babas also, they mutilate their genitals when they are in the process of yam niyam. You see, in the last Kumbh Mela, which happened, I think last year before, excuse me, they initiated 10,000 such Naga Babas. Even ladies and Westerners joined them for there. They took initiation. Yam, very, very austere, before they can even proceed further of meditation. Yam, niyam, asana, the yogic postures. So the yogis have to go to secluded place, live in the city areas, in a forest. They live in a forest, auspicious place. They sit on the place where put a deer skin. Deer skin brings out a sort of an oil, which will make sure that insects and snakes and all don't come. They remove fear from the heart, in the forest, and that's how they meditate. They sit straight, and after sitting straight in the posture, they close their eyes, not fully, half closed, half open. And with their half open eyes, they look at the tip of the nose. And thereafter, they control their breathing exercise, breathing in, breathing out, pranayam, where their breathing in and breathing out merges together. And that is a process where they stop breathing and they go into trance. So asana, pranayam, pratyahar, withdrawal of the senses from everything material, sense objects. Dharana, then they concentrate the mind on the Paramatma, super soul inside the heart. Then dhyan, that's when the meditation would come. Then they concentrate, they meditate. And then at the end, when the breath is controlled in such a way, in this way, senses are controlled in that meditation, then at the end they are completely absorbed in it. It's called samadhi. It may not be practical and possible to achieve this in one lifetime. So they go through many lifetimes. They are yogis, similarly Jnanis. Those Jnanis, speculators, they speculate, they think. They're constantly analyzing, discussing, theorizing, and with those theories, they analyze, they agree, they disagree. With all that disagreements, after many, many lifetimes, they come to the conclusion, well, that there's no creator. Or devotees from our Hare Krishna weekend program, they participate in an interreligious discussion. Sridhar Prabhu, and now when Krishna Sharma, Krishna Prabhu, they go, they represent us. It's a good learning curve for everyone. Where there are also Theologian Society of New Zealand, they come. And they have first-hand experience. First-hand, they would know that these people are basically impersonalists. They think there is no God. Only theories exist, And ordinary people, what can we say about them? And people who meditate, we don't know what they meditate upon. Some void, something void. So, in this situation, with these things, how is the position of these devotees of Vrindavan, the Gopas, all the inhabitants of Vrindavan, where they can associate with Krishna? See, the most important thing to know is that all these people, yogis, jnanis, meditation practitioners, they perform these austerities without knowing the end goal. Who is God? Why should we love Him? And we should love Him in the first place. And most of the time, their purpose and the projection is completed without even realizing the end result, end goal. So even when they're absorbed, then samadhi, they do not know the purpose of life is to dovetail, become servant of Krishna. Don't misunderstand them. They are very great authorities in themselves. We are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has given us an opportunity straight away, and we are getting this opportunity. We should make the most of it, but don't minimize them. So, to understand this position of all the Vrindavan Vasis, inhabitants of Vrindavan, the Gopas, we have to enter into one particular pastime where Krishna is now Kaumar age, 5 years old. They just finished their children age, Krishna and Balaram. As children, they enjoyed themselves, and the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the elder gopis, they also enjoyed themselves with Krishna and Balaram. And they would sing their glories. Mother Yashoda sing their glories. Professional reciters would come and sing their glories, make poetry, and then they were recited by the Vrindavan devotees. They absorbed in Krishna's thought and pastimes and Balaram's. So they would also then hold the tail of cows, and the cows would be eating nicely some grass or drinking milk from their mother cow. They would be very shocked, somebody caught their tail and they would run. And Krishna and Balaram would hold their tail and they would slide behind the cows. And that's what would be seen by all the elder gopis of Vrindavan, the Gopas. They would enjoy being with Krishna, seeing Krishna killing so many demons. Balaram, they would be astonished seeing these things. So when they came of age, 5 years old, that is when Krishna and Balaram and all the other Gopas, they were then given in charge. There was a big ceremony took place, and they were given the charge of grazing the calves. They would take the calves for grazing. Please show yourselves. Put your videos on. It'll be nice. So we are now entering into this particular pastime where Krishna has already killed Putana, the demoness Putana, and the demon Bakasur. So the demons Putana and Bakasur were brother sisters. And they had one more brother who is yet to come. He is just about to come. His name is Aghasur. Asur. Agha, Asur. Baka, Asur. Demon. So in between that is this particular pastime which describes the glories of all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is narrated by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. Shukdev Goswami says, Shishuka uvacha kvachid vanashaya mano dadad brajat pratah samuthaya vayasya vatsapan prabodhayan shunga ravena charuna vinirgato vatsap pura hasaro harihi. So, Shukdev Goswami continued. One day, Krishna decided to take his breakfast as a picnic in the forest. You see, every day Mother Yashoda would feed him very nicely. So this 5-year-old boy thought, now, today we are going to have breakfast as a picnic in the forest. How many of us will go to picnic in the forest as 5-year-old, to have breakfast? Sounds very exciting. We are sitting in with our bread and toast on a table and thinking about our job and how I will be late and there'll be traffic and there'll be this and that. Nothing in the spiritual world. It's enjoyment, complete. So Krishna decided he's going to have breakfast, his picnic in the forest. Having risen early in the morning, he blew the bugle made of a horn and woke all the cowherd boys and cows with its beautiful sound. Then Krishna and the boys, keeping the respective groups of cows before them, proceeded from Brajabhumi to the forest. How beautiful it is. So, at that time, hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys came out of their respective homes in Brajabhumi and joined Krishna. We thought Krishna has only 5 friends, 6 friends, 7 friends. We may have 10 friends. But no, there were hundreds and thousands of cowherd boys that came. So the Brajabhumi was so big at the time. It was not a small forest. Now, it is not finished. Just listen further. Keeping before them hundreds and thousands of groups of cows. So all these boys, cowherd boys, hundreds and thousands of them, they had each hundreds and thousands of cows for grazing. So they went and they made sure the cows were in front of them, and they all came out, going to the forest in the cows. So it was like huge numbers, millions of them going. So Krishna does not go alone. His friends are not like us, hundreds and thousands of them. So just imagine if you're seeing it from the top with our drone footage, we will see huge numbers, millions of them. They're going to the forest and they'll be having their breakfast and a picnic. The boys were very beautiful. And they were equipped with lunch bags, bugles, flutes, and sticks for controlling the cows. So what do people in Golok Vrindavan do? This is what they do. They look beautiful, they pack their lunch bags, they carry flute, bugles, sticks, and they graze the cows. Everyday picnic. Best, isn't it? Not like us, we're distressed here all the time. So what does Krishna do with his friends? This is what he does. Complete enjoyment. Who will not want his enjoyment? Tell me. Any one of us don't want his enjoyment? We all want a holiday every day. Here it's Sunday every day. Okay. Now, Krishna Vatasair Asankhyater. Sorry, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The tune change. Krishna Vatsair Asankhyater Yuthi Krutya Swavatsakan Charayantorubha Leelabhi Vijahrus Tatra Tatraha. This is a very important verse. Why it's important? Let us see. So, along with the cowherd boys and their own groups of cows, which spoke millions, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of cows assembled. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a greatly playful spirit. So why is this verse significant? I'll repeat again. Along with the cowherd boys and their group of cows, Krishna came out with an unlimited number of cows assembled. Then all the boys began to sport in the forest in a greatly playful spirit. Why is this significant, this particular verse? So what? Yes, right. That's all right. He went out. Krishna went out with his cows. It's done. Right. The important word here is Krishna Vatsair Asankhyater. So Krishna is God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vatsai means cows. Vatsa means child, cow's child, the cows. Asankhyate, unlimited. So how is it that Krishna came out with unlimited number of cows? This is astonishing. We have to make sense of this. Because if there are unlimited number of cows, there has to be unlimited space. There has to be unlimited number of so many things. How do you explain this? You see, in this words, so Prabhupada explains all this nicely. In this words, the word Krishna Vatsair Asankhyatai are very significant. See, the word Asankhyatai, Asankhyata means unlimited. Krishna's calves were unlimited, not few thousands. So we may speak of hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, billions, trillions, tens of trillions, and so on. But when we go further to speak the numbers impossible for us to count, we are speaking of unlimited numbers. Such unlimited numbers are indicated here by the word asankhyatāh. See, Krishna is unlimited, his potency is unlimited, his cows are unlimited, and his space is unlimited. Therefore, he is described in the Bhagavad Gita as Parabrahman. You see, the word Brahman means unlimited. And Krishna is the supreme unlimited, Parabrahman. Therefore, we should consider the statements of this verse not to be mythological. Oh, Krishna had unlimited cows. Okay, very nice. Very good. Let me have my tea and breakfast. And I'll do my chanting of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare. And we say, oh, Prabhuji, my mind wanders here and there. I cannot concentrate. Of course you don't concentrate because you're not concentrating on the verses. We think it's mythology. We have not spent time on this. Immediately we should be opening our eyes and say, wow, unlimited. How? Before that, the fact that Krishna had hundreds and thousands of friends, and the friends had hundreds and thousands of cows became millions, was itself very astonishing. That's how we use our drone to sort of see the footage from the top, to see millions of them walking into the forest, like this. On top of it now, it is mentioned that Krishna had unlimited cows. So they are not mythological. They are factual, but inconceivable. How beautiful Prabhupada mentions this. They are factual, but inconceivable. See, Krishna can accommodate an unlimited number of cows, an unlimited number of measurement of space. This is neither mythological, neither false. But if we study Krishna's potency with our limited knowledge, that potency will never be possible for us to understand. Ata Shri Krishna namadi na bhave grahyam indriyahi. Sivan mukhehi jivado. See, our senses cannot perceive how he could keep an unlimited number of cows and have unlimited space in which to do so. You see, we all watch television, we all watch movies, right? In our movies, we can see all these unlimited things very nicely. But when it comes to Krishna, our scientific brain starts to act. How is it scientifically possible? Can this be proved? Yeah, sure. Did you ask for this proof when you seen the movies? What movies? What television serials do we ask? I'll tell you. How many of us have seen the movie Men in Black? Just raise your hand. Those who have not seen, you should. Probably you're living under a rock or something, You're sad people, very sad. Men in Black, anyone Men in Black, please? Men in Black, raise your hands. Yeah, Men in Black, right? Men in Black. Right. In Men in Black, I think it is one. We are not astonished when they show an alien crashing down on Earth who's like a cockroach. Correct? It's Men in Black 1, right? Correct? He comes down and crashes. He is a cockroach. And he's coming to kidnap the whole Earth and whole universe, right? Why? We are so foolish. We don't ask this question to them, do we? We very well nicely go for 1,000 rupees, buy a ticket very nicely. We dress very nicely, put nice perfume, wear best dress, we nicely curl our hair, we stand in the queue, and we go into the seat, and then we sit on the seat to watch the movie. Right. And then the lights go off. Nobody's watching you. Everybody's come to watch the movie, but we are very happy to wear the best dress. Decorate ourselves so nicely. Nobody's coming to watch you, man. People are going to watch the movie, not to you. But we dress very nicely. We think we are best thing. With all these big things, we go and watch the movie, and what do we see? We see an alien in the form of a cockroach comes down, and then it devours a man, enters a man's body, right? It is that only, right? Men in Black 1. So, and he enters a blank. Okay. He's actually going in to, do you remember this or you just forgot about it? You watch so many movies. It's gone out of equation now. Anybody remembers this at all?
I remember
No.
certain things.
You remember some things. So very good. You watch less
How they-
movies.
How
Or
they
you
wipe
don't
the
remember
people
watching
out.
every movie. And then what happens? Actually, then he's wanting, this cockroach has come from a real planet. He's wanting to take over a universe. And those universal representatives are living on Earth. They are sitting in a restaurant. Old man. And then this old man is dying. He's the chief CEO or president or something of the universe. Remember this or not? And that universe, that man, you cut open his brain, he put his ears, and the brain opens up like this. And inside the brain is a small ET, extraterrestrial alien. He's dying, he's showing. Remember this? This much alien they're showing, extraterrestrial. There they very nicely saw the movie, eating popcorn and Pepsi Cola and Coke. Such a nice movie. Now you're not remembering anything, man. You guys are crazy, man. I don't understand. You spend so much, thousands of rupees And dollars and not remembering anything. Waste of money. Shit. I am the only one who watches the movie with open eyes. You guys just close your eyes. I don't know what you sleep or something in the movie. Lights go off, so you go to sleep, Anyway, so then this alien is dying there. And it tells the universe is hanging as a bell on the cat's neck. So our hero, the American hero who saves the day, he says, what? How can a universe be hanging on a bell as a bell in a cat's neck? He said, you human beings are like this, only foolish. You got limited intelligence. You cannot think beyond. Actually, this universe is lying as a bell in a cat, black cat. Now remember this? And then they saw the cat meow, going, and there's a universe underneath it. Dang, dang. And they open the cat's bell, and the universe is shown. Dang, the whole universe is moving. This is what it is. So they could compress, these aliens could compress the whole universe into one small ball, which is kept in a cat's neck. You see? That we can accept very nicely. We pay money also to listen to this and watch this nonsense going on. But Krishna having unlimited things, we cannot accept. How easy is it, tell me, for Krishna to have unlimited space? Similarly with this, with the material things, we can assume things according to our own limited capacity. We are like Dr. Frog, You know Dr. Frog? I told you people, Dr. Frog. Long ago, I must have mentioned this to you. Kupa Mundak. Remember this? Who remembers Dr. Frog? Raise your hand. Who remembers Dr. Frog? Very good. There are some doctors here. Oh, very good. Others don't remember Dr. Frog? Oh, Madam Doctor, you don't remember Dr. Frog? Someone doesn't remember Dr. Frog? Oh, man. See, what happens is, there is one big doctor. He's a frog. He's living in a well. And he thinks this well is a universe. Such a big universe. I'm the boss of this universe. I know everything about this universe. There are insects there, fish there, all this there, all those things, enjoying himself. After many years, all of a sudden, another frog comes from above the well and jumps inside the well. Where this frog, Dr. Frog, was there, the other frog jumps in. So the Dr. Frog sees another frog, Say, hey, who are you? This another frog says, I'm a frog. He says, you are a frog? So Dr. Frog says, but, I'm also a frog. So yes, I'm also a frog. So where have you come from? Dr. Frog asked. So I've come from a big place, which is a bit away from you, but not very far. He said, is it? Dr. Frog says, is it? How big? What is it called? So this other frog says, it is called Pacific Ocean. So Dr. Frog says, Pacific Ocean? I know this well. It is bigger than this ocean? He said, yes, much bigger than this ocean. He said, how big is the Pacific Ocean, bigger than the well? He said, very big. He said, okay, double the size of this ocean, this well? No, more than that. Oh, 3 times the size? No, more than that. 4 times the size? No, more than that. 5 times? More than that. 10 times more than that. This Dr. Frog had no conception that Pacific Ocean can be so huge and unlimited. You see, we are like this. So now you know who's Dr. Frog? All of us. So clap your hands and pat your back. We are Dr. Frogs living in our well, thinking this well is a whole big universe and there's nothing beyond it. We don't know. And when somebody comes and tells us there's something beyond this, we compare with what we have seen only. Double size, triple the size, 4 times the size. Dr. Frog, Kupa Mundak. So, in the Bruhat Bhagavatam by Sanatana Goswami, he writes that in the states that since everything about Krishna is unlimited, nothing is impossible for him. It is in this sense that we have to understand this particular verse. Now you understand this verse was not ordinary. So Krishna is ordinary, his things are ordinary. Krishna is not ordinary, he is unlimited. Everything about him is unlimited. So his space can be unlimited. Within limited, he can be unlimited. To understand this is only possible through devotional service. That's why a devotee's income can be limited, but his capacity can be unlimited. Don't mess with a devotee. All right? It is very mystical. The whole process is mystical. Only a devotee can understand. Right, let's continue now. Now, all the boys were already decorated by their mothers with ornaments like kach, gunja, pearls, gold. Excuse me, kach? Kach means what? What does kach mean? Glass. No. Kach doesn't mean glass. Kach means gems. Okay, it's a particular kind. It's glass, it's gems. Okay, so gunja is also small conch shell. Gunja, small conch shells. Money, pearls, swarna is gold. So all these cowherd boys were already decorated. Although these boys were already decorated by their mothers with ornaments like kach, gunja, pearls, and gold, when they went into the forest, they further decorated themselves with fruits, green leaves, bunches of flowers, peacock feathers, and soft minerals. Don't try this, please. don't decorate yourself with fruits and all those things, and bunches, green leaves and all that, and go out. You'll be in trouble. Yeah, you see, many places in the Bhagavatam, especially when Krishna's childhood pastimes are concerned, the author, Sridhar, he mentions this many times to Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami, that these boys were decorated and dressed so nicely that they were like drama artists. The word uses drama artist. Have you seen people doing in dramas? They wear a lot of makeup, they have artificial, very flamboyant sort of dressing and all that. That's how Krishna, Balaram, and all the cowherd boys were dressed. Very beautiful, as if they're just out for a drama, Life is drama and joy. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Exactly what they do. You see? So the boys were already nicely decorated with gold, jewelry, gems, conch shells. Still they went out, they got some fruits, they wear nice garlands of that, of grapes and all. Green leaves, bunches of flowers, peacock feathers, and soft minerals applied around their body. Now, what do? They were walking, there were thousands of them, millions of them. So what do? So all the cowherd boys used to steal one another's lunch bags. That's what children do, When a boy came to understand that his bag has been stolen, taken away, the other boys would throw it further away to a more distant place. And those standing there would throw it still further. So when the proprietor of the bag became disappointed, the other boys would laugh. The proprietor would cry, and then the bag would be returned to him. Don't worry, here, take the bag. So this kind of playing and stealing among boys still exists even in the material world. Because this kind of sporting pleasure is present in the spiritual world, from which this idea of enjoyment emanates. Janmadhyasya yataha, Vedanta Sutra 112. This same enjoyment is displayed by Krishna and his associates in spiritual world. But there the enjoyment is eternal. Whereas in the material platform, it is temporary. So we discussed about Krishna being unlimited, Brahman. So there, in the spiritual world, the enjoyment is Brahman, unlimited. Whereas here, in the material world, the enjoyment is limited, which is Jad. Opposite of Brahman is Jad. So the Krishna consciousness movement, Prabhupada writes, is meant to train one how to transfer oneself from this Jada to the Brahman. Because human life is meant for this purpose, to be with Krishna and enjoy, be with him, enjoy with him, think only about him, love him, dance with him, play with him, and go for a picnic with him. Don't go to buy shopping in mall, That's material world. Athato Brahma Jignasa. Krishna comes down to teach us how we can enjoy with him in the spiritual world, on the spiritual platform. Not only does he come, but he personally displays his pastimes in Vrindavan and attracts people to the spiritual end, to spiritual enjoyment. How beautiful is this? Tell me, is it not so? So, excuse me. This is how things happen in the spiritual world. And this is what Krishna is so kind that he comes to show what's going on in the spiritual world in Golokvrindavan. It's eternal. Don't think there the pastimes are over. Time doesn't relate there. Time is here. By the time we go back, we would be participating in the same pastime which we left. It's a very dynamic, very 3-dimension, 4-dimension, no dimension, unlimited dimension phase, their life there. Then what happens? Sometimes Krishna would go to somewhat distant place to see the beautiful forest, to enjoy the forest there he would go. Then all the other boys would run to accompany him, each one saying, I shall be the first to run and touch Krishna. I shall touch Krishna first. In this way, they enjoyed life repeatedly touching Krishna. And these yogis, Jnanis, meditation practitioners, when they perfect their life after unlimited lifetimes, they cannot touch even a dust under the lotus feet of Krishna. Whereas here, these boys, same age, they don't think Krishna is God, they love him to bits, and they can touch Krishna. They run with each other, competition. I will touch him first, not you, not you. You see, this is the point to be understood. Now, itam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shitanam naradarakena sakam vajahru krutapunya punjaha. This is very, very important verse, and especially the very, very important line in this verse. Sakam vrujahru krutapunya punjaha. So this is part of about 7-8 verses together. 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 verses together. This is the last verse in it. The translation goes this way. The description is given that all the boys would be differently engaged. Some boys blew their flutes. Others blew bugles made of horns. Some imitated the buzzing of the bumblebees. So people say, so what do you do in the spiritual world? They think the spiritual world, everybody will be meditating, oh, and all those things, big philosophy. Well, this is what they do in the spiritual world. This is what they do in the topmost of the spiritual world. Golok Vrindavan, there is nothing higher than this. This is it. This is it. There's nothing more than this. So what do? This is what they do. All the boys would be differently engaged. Some boys blew their flutes. Some others blew their bugles made of horns. Some imitating the buzzing of the bumblebees. Others imitated the voice of the cuckoo. We do the same thing here. Cuckoo. Some boys imitating flying birds by running after the bird's shadow on the ground. Some imitated the beautiful movement and attractive postures of the swans. You seen the swans movement? Only very fortunate people can see swans and the movement of swans, Some sat down with the ducks. What do you do in the Golok Vrindavan? I was sitting down with the ducks, with Krishna. Some sat down with the ducks, sitting silently. And others imitated the dancing of the peacocks. Some boys attracted young monkeys in the trees. Some jumped into the trees, imitating the monkeys. Some made faces as the monkeys were accustomed to do. And others jumped from one branch to another. Some boys went to the waterfalls and crossed over the river, jumping with the frogs. And when they saw their own reflection on the water, they would laugh. They would also condemn the sound of their own voice, own echoes. When they go into the caves and when they speak loudly, there will be echo coming. So they would condemn their own voices, echoes. In this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna, who is the source of Brahman effulgence for Jnanis, desiring to merge into their effulgence, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who have accepted eternal servitorship, and who for ordinary persons is but another ordinary child. The cowherd boys, having accumulated the results of past activities of many lives, were able to associate in this way with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How can one explain their good fortune? Kruta Punya Punja. All these boys who had accumulated the results of life after life of past activities. So, these living beings who are in the spiritual world with Krishna, this particular verse is glorifying them. Kruta Punya Punja. Sakam Vijahru Kruta Punya Punja. Along with Krishna, they're associating with Krishna, enjoying with Krishna. Imagine what amount of good fortune they have done, the past activities, life after life, that they can have this association of Krishna. Who can explain this? Is a question raised by Shukdev Goswami. You see, Srila Rupa Goswami explains this. He recommends Tasmad ke napi upaye manaha Krishne niveshayet. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 124. Somehow or other, whether one thinks of Krishna as an ordinary human child, as the source of the Brahman effulgence, or as the origin of Paramatma, or as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should concentrate one's full attention upon the lotus feet of Krishna. This is also the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Srimad Bhāgavatam is the easiest way of approaching Krishna. Ishvara sadayo hrudi avarnundhyante atra Kritibhihi shruno shubhistat kshanat. See, diverting even a little of one's attention towards Krishna and activities in Krishna consciousness immediately enables one to achieve the highest perfection of life. This is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement. How beautiful. How beautiful. The secret of success is unknown to people in general. Lokasya janito vidvams chakre satvat simhitam. See, the secret of success is unknown to people in general. They don't know. Somebody says loving one's parents, family is good enough. Somebody says doing good things is good enough. Somebody says loving the country is good enough. Somebody says that becoming yogi is good enough. Somebody says Jnani is good enough. Meditation is good enough. But this is not known to people in general. The secret of success is unknown to people in general, and therefore Srila Vyasadeva, being compassionate towards the poor souls of this material world, especially in the age of Kali, has given the Srimad Bhagavatam. Has given us the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Mamalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. This verse is very close to Guru Maharaj. Maharaj loved this verse. So for Vaishnavas who are somewhat advanced or who are fully aware of the glories and potencies of the Lord, Srimad Bhagavatam is beloved Vedic literature. After all, we have to change this body. Tatha dehantara prapti. If we do not care about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we do not know what the next body will be. But if one adheres to these two books, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, one is sure to obtain the association of Krishna in the next life. Tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 verse 9. Therefore, distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world is a great welfare activity for theologians, philosophers, transcendentalists, and yogis. Yogi nam api sarvesham. As well as for people in general. Janma labha paraha pumsam ante narayana smritihi. If we can somehow or other remember Krishna and Narayan at the end of life, our life will be successful. And this is the reason why Srila Gurudev, towards the end of Maharaj's pastimes, Maharaj instructed all of us sitting there. Maharaj said, take upon yourself as a responsibility that you study Bhagavatam and teach the concepts of Bhagavatam in such a way that is palatable to people in general. Make them interested in Bhagavatam and they will be saved. It's a big responsibility Guru Maharaj has given to us. Although we have no qualification, I don't understand me of Bhagavatam. It's only Guru Maharaj speaks if he feels right in these forums actually. Mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, yogis may undergo severe austerities and penances. I started my discussion by this point. Yogis may undergo severe austerities and penances for many births by practicing yama, niyam, asana, and pranayam, none of which are easily performed, very difficult. Yet, in due course of time, when these yogis attain the perfection of controlling the mind, they will still be unable to taste even a particle of dust from the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What then can we describe about the great fortune of the inhabitants of Brajbhumi, Vrindavan, with whom the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally lived and who saw the Lord face to face? Another question asked. Prabhupada says we can simply imagine the great fortune of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. It is impossible to describe how, after many, many births of past activities, they have become so fortunate. So this describes the difference between devotee and all other processes where one thinks one can achieve God, with Bhakti Yoga and all others. You see, Krishna, although we say yes, he's God, but even he, when he is with his associates, with his friends, with people whom he wants to deal with, he is in his element. You know, when we are with our friends and all, people whom we love, relatives, we're in our element. This is how Krishna displays his pastimes. When he is in association with his own people, people whom we love, people who love him. So, now comes Aghasur. See what happens to people whom he loves when they are in difficulty. What he is thinking? God. What is analyzing? Let's shift the focus there. I'll come to the point here, where now these boys are going into the forest. Thousands of them, millions of them, playing, jumping, dancing, touching Krishna, enjoying with Krishna, all the cows. And then they saw a big python. Now, say, how big is python? He was 8 miles wide, long, 8 miles long. And Aghasur thought, I'm going to devour all of them. So he opened his mouth, python's mouth, like this. And he said that his lower jaw was touching the ground and upper jaw was so big there, it was touching the clouds. So among all the different mountain peaks and mountains, these children, 5-year-old kids, they saw this huge python with mouth open. It was said that his tongue was like Broadway, super expressway. They were astonished. They said, wow, because they had moved to Vrindavan recently, from Gokul. So this python, this Aghasur, was waiting. He says, I will wait. Once everybody comes in, I'll close my mouth. His cunning plan. And he was alive. He was not moving. So he was breathing. It was said that when he was breathing, from his mouth, hot winds would come out. Because I was thinking, I was really mad. So when he would open his mouth, he was breathing, so people would smell the smell also, dirty smell came through. All these young boys, they were very smart, They thought, well, Vrindavan is such a nice place, man. There's such a nice museum they have got created. Such a big python in a museum. Great stuff, enjoyment, But then they thought, no, this is a python. And this is a mouth. Look at his mouth open. He's breathing. We can smell this python. I must have eaten so many dead bodies in the belly, with the fire there. And the smell of the roasted bodies, we can smell. Eeks. So I think they all thought, we think he is waiting for us to go inside, and then he closes his mouth. This is what they're thinking. But then they said, so what? Bakasur was killed by Krishna. Krishna will kill him if anything happens to us. So we are not afraid of him. We will go inside, no problem. Hare Bol. So they all were making loud sounds, clapping their hands, and going inside the big caves. They were like big caves. Bakasur, the Aghasura's mouth, the brother of Bakasur. Here Krishna is thinking, meantime, parallel thinking. He says, this is Aghasur. My friends don't know this. They're going inside, they'll be killed. I must stop them. He's thinking like this, but his devotees are thinking at the same time, hey, Krishna will protect us. No problem. Let us go inside. They went inside. So in this situation, what is Krishna thinking? In this particular verse, the first line and the last line describes a very lovable feature of Krishna, very human feature of Krishna. Tan vikshya Krishna sakala bhaya prado, the first line. Hyananya nathan swakarad avachyutan dinamscha mrutyor jagatragni ghoshan. The last line, krunardito dishta krutena vishmitaha. So the first line, we'll just go to the first line, last line. It says that Tan viksha Krishna sakala bhaya prado. Tan, all those boys. Viksha, seeing, Krishna is seeing. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Sakala bhaya prado. Sakala, abhaya, pradaha. So Krishna, who is the source of fearlessness for everyone. So Krishna is described here as the source of fearlessness for everyone. He sees these boys entering in. And the last line says, Grunar ditodishta krutena vismitaha. Gruna ardita. So therefore, being compassionate due to causeless mercy, because they went inside. Dishta krutena, by things arranged by his internal potency. Vismitaha. He also, for the time being, was astonished. So Krishna saw that all the cowherd boys who did not know anyone but him as their Lord had now gone out of his hands and helpless. You see, because as I said, he was parallel thinking that this is Aghasur. I must stop my friends. And the friend said, we are going. And we went inside. So it is mentioned here that Krishna saw that all the cowherd boys who did not know anyone but him as their Lord had now gone out of his hand and were helpless. So he came out of his hands and they were helpless, having entered like straws into the fire of the abdomen of Aghasur, who was death personified. It was intolerable for Krishna to be separated from his friends, the cowherd boys. Therefore, as if seeing that this had been arranged by his internal potency, Krishna was momentarily struck with wonder and unsure of what to do. Wow! Due to his internal potency working in these pastimes, he became struck with wonder. Oh my God, now they're out of my hands, my friends. And he was unsure what to do. Now what do I do? See, everything about Krishna is lovable. These pastimes make us love him if it is properly understood with philosophy. Then he's further thinking. He's thinking that now what was to be done? How could both killing of this demon and saving of the devotees be performed simultaneously? See, if he does not kill the demons, these devotees cannot be saved. It has to be done simultaneously. So Krishna, being unlimitedly potent, decided to wait for an intelligent means by which he could simultaneously save the boys and kill the demon. Krishna, being unlimitedly potent, decided to wait for an intelligent means by which he could simultaneously save the boys and kill the demon. Then he entered the mouth of Aghasur. Wow! So Krishna is known as Ananta Virya Sarvagna because everything is known to him. Because he knows everything perfectly well, it was not difficult for him to find a means by which he could save the boys and at the same time kill the demon. Thus he decided to enter the demon's mouth. So he could be bewildered by his internal potency, and he can solve it also. Not like us who gets bewildered and we get paralyzed. We get all this situation. I can't think. We just freeze. We just fold it. No, he does that. He's unlimited. You see. So we had this beautiful discussion today, thinking about Krishna and his pastimes. Of course, in Krishna very immediately kills the Aghasur. He increases in his size, and the Aghasur also tries to increase his size with him. He enters into his mouth. Aghasur was waiting for him. He said, I'm not going to close my mouth for all these coward boys. I'm waiting for Krishna to come because my family members have been killed by him. So I'm going to wait for Krishna to come. When he enters, I close the mouth. So when Krishna entered, he closed his mouth. When he closed his mouth, all the demigods were watching this. They were astonished seeing this. Oh my God, they were thinking, what is going on here? They were afraid of Aghasur. They wanted him killed. At the same time, Kamsa and associates were jubilant. Say, yes, this is it. This is it. Waiting for it to happen. Now the mouth is closed. It's done. So they forgot. Immediately Krishna increased his size from the abdomen mouth of Aghasur. So Aghasur also increased his size inside. But he became so big, ultimately burst. His eyeballs popped out and he died. And Krishna then looked at the dead cows and his friends. So imagine how big this python was, Aghasur. All the thousands and millions of cows went inside with the boys. They all were dead. Krishna glanced at them and they were awake. And he came out jubilantly. And all the coward boys danced happily, peacefully. They said, hey, Krishna saved us, Hari Bol. All the Gandharvas began singing beautiful songs for Krishna, praising Krishna. All the demigods, they actually, there's a mention, they poured flowers from heavenly planets to Krishna. All joy, pompous was happening. And then Brahma heard this sound. So what is this sound? What is this commotion going on? So he came down from his abode to lower planets, heavenly planets, to see. And they say, why are they glorifying? He was astonished to see, why are these people glorifying Krishna? That is where this episode finishes, next episode starts. We got these movies, and series, then they finish, and then they close, and the next one starts, new chapter begins. Now he comes on Brahma also, why is there astonishment? That's when the next begins. You know what happens then after that? The 1 year gap begins. You see? So that is where next episode of Brahma's bewilderment will come. Of Agasur. So what we see in today's world is nothing extraordinary. This is all there in Bhagavatam. If you read Bhagavatam, you see all these things. You can picturize, Same way they show in the movies and television serials, and they close at the big end, suspense, and the next episode starts with it, or different story starts. Exactly, they pick up. It's very frail. If you study Srimad Bhagavatam thoroughly, after Bhagavad Gita, you'll understand how things move. Beautiful, transcendental. These are all material things, foolishness. So, to finish this discussion for today's, we want it never finish. So, what is the advantage of this Krishna Katha? Discussing these topics of Krishna and Balaram, what does it do to us? Yeah, increased devotional service, yes, it does. But that is very nicely described in the previous chapter. Iti nandadayo gopaha Krishna Rama katham muda kurvanto ramamanascha navidan bhava vedanam. So in this way, all the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaj enjoyed the topics about the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram with great transcendental pleasure. And they could not even perceive material tribulation. So here is the instruction about the result of studying and discussing the Krishna Leelas that appear in Srimad Bhagavatam. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda in Vrindavan appear like ordinary persons in this material world, but they never felt the tribulations of this world, although they sometimes met many dangerous situations created by the demons. This is a practical example. If we follow the footsteps of Nanda Maharaj and the Gopas, we can all be happy simply by discussing the activities of Krishna. You see, Vyasadeva has given this literature so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Katha. Anartho pashamam sakshad bhakti yoga madhokshaje lokasya janato vidvams chakre satvat samhitam. So Vyasadeva has given this literature that everyone may understand, so that everyone may understand one's transcendental position simply by discussing Bhagavad Katha. Even at the present moment, everyone everywhere can be happy and free from material tribulations by following Srimad Bhagavatam. There is no need of austerities and penances, which in this age are very difficult to perform. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has therefore declared Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By our Krishna consciousness movement, Srila Prabhupada writes, we are trying to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam so that anyone in any part of the world can be absorbed in the Krishna consciousness movement by chanting and hearing about the activities of Krishna and be free from all material tribulations. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So this is what happens if we study Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing and discuss the pastimes of Krishna, Balaram, just like Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj did, the material tribulations will not touch us. This is a secret. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Shinitai God Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. With this, we complete our discussion today. This is how all the Gopas and inhabitants of Vrindavan enjoyed the company of Krishna, which even Yogis, Jnanis, and ordinary people can never achieve. Okay, Hare Krishna. If you would like to share something, add something, subtract something, ask a question. I don't know if I will answer the question, but please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Harishpur, thank you very much for your very nice class. I have a question. So in the first half, when you're focusing on the coward, boys and Lord Krishna and their relationship with Lord Krishna, is that Sakiras? Is that
Yes.
still Sakiras? And are those coward boys in the spiritual world, they're all eternally liberated, are they?
Yes. Eternally liberated, Nitya Mukta, as well as Sadhana Siddha also, who became liberated too.
Mm.
Srila Jiva Goswami says that those living beings who are perfected their sadhana, before they are eligible to go back to Golok Vrindavan, they get the opportunity to be with Krishna wherever he appears. So those who perfected his bhakti by Sakhyaras got a chance to be with Krishna in his pastimes here. Is that okay?
Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else wants to say?
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Hari Bol, yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a very nice class. I just had one small question that you mentioned that Krishna momentarily got bewildered by his internal potency.
Sorry, could you repeat again? Your was not very clear.
I'm saying that that Krishna momentarily got bewildered by his internal potency when he was trying to when the cowherd boys went inside Aghasur. So my question is that how is it possible for Krishna to get bewildered by his own internal potency? Because we say that Krishna is above his energies, right? Like he's as in above Maya and internal potency. So how is it possible for him to get bewildered in that sense?
Why not? Why can Krishna not do anything? Why can he not do anything? His internal, he says, for non-devotees, I'm covered by my internal potency. In the Bhagavad Gita. See? So he can do absolutely anything what he wants to do. You see? And this is his pastime, this is love. He can become angry with his devotees also. He was angry when Mother Yashoda was, went in for churning the milk, and when she was feeding him, he went inside. She went inside because the milk was boiling. And he thought of doing some mischief. That's why he broke the pot. That's what in September, the thing will come now, for Damodar Ashtak, October month. So all his emotions are there with him. He is epitome of emotions. So don't misunderstand that he cannot have emotions. It is okay. Or how will you love him if he doesn't have emotions? He can be subjugated by his devotees. He cannot be controlled by anybody, but his devotees control him. We're so attached to his friends. He's out of my hands now. What do I do? You understand this? That's why it's lovable. But one has to be very careful. These pastimes, we don't indulge into money, but we do philosophy. There's just enough so that it will induce everybody to become Krishna conscious and love him. But knowledge is given step by step. Don't jump to Bhagavatam there. These are what to understand it also. Very nice. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your wonderful class. It was just like a movie, Prabhuji. It was very nice. So, Actually, I was thinking on that point where initially you mentioned, there is no time element in the spiritual world, and it can be, multidimensional. And you mentioned sometime, devotee can leave, and he can maybe go to the material world and again come back in the same pastime. So I was thinking, actually, means even actually Srila Prabhupada says sometimes devotees can fall down even from the spiritual world. So I was thinking, because when everybody is eternally liberated or sadhana siddh, and how one can fall down in the absence of a maya there is no maya, So how that can happen? I was thinking it is very, very much possible in this material world, because we're always under the control of the modes and the maya jal, whatever you call it. But there is no such thing in spiritual world like a maya jal. So how one can actually, how the yoga can come in place. So I was just wondering.
Now, actually, if you go to see, then more powerful than Maya is our free will. We become subservient to Maya out of free will only. If we don't want to, we will not become subservient of Maya. This free will is given by Krishna. The Prabhupada says, we misuse the free will. We misused it. That is why we are called Nitya Baddha. We are Nitya, eternally falling. Yes, that's right. Eternally we can be in material world, but at the same time we are prone to do this. We are not Nitya Mukta. That's the difference between Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. So the free will we utilize in a different way. And he worked very hard to make sure we don't do. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're making a big mistake. The best here, enjoying with me, man. Why are you going down there? What do you want to be becoming like me? I want to become like you, he's saying. I'm under your control. No. We want to, Prabhupada says. So that is the point. So more than Maya is the power of free will. Do you agree with that?
I never thought like that, Prabhuji. I thought our Maya is always powerful than us. That's my perception. Yeah, I think you made a free will. I think, I'm not sure. I think you need to actually contemplate that one point, Prabhuji.
Yeah, because Maya, if Maya is going to capture you, if Maya wants to capture you, we can always chant Hare Krishna and be away from Maya, right?
So if you actually strong will, the Maya can't affect.
If you use the free will properly, then nobody will affect anything. If you want something very, 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 very seriously, there is no question of anybody coming in place for you. Correct?
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
See, as Socrates had said this example, somebody asked him a question that how to get something which is very important to you, So he put that man and put him in the water, his head in the water. And that guy was gasping for water. He just wanted to come out. He said, when you are like this, that's when you are called to be, you will achieve what you want to achieve. So we are enjoying Maya. We are artificially devotees, but we are quite happy, nice. There's a nice bed there, nice family is there, money is coming in, prasadam is also there, I do my arti here, Hare Krishna, Hare, chanting my round, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, I do some ekadashi here, I do some program there, and I'm all day. I'm very happy. We are like this, I'm talking about myself. This is what I am. Happy. I find a soft corner somewhere, but I'm kicked out again. There is no soft corner, but I'm still trying to find a soft corner somewhere quietly where I can nicely sit, Nobody's watching me, but I'm enjoying, Hare Krishna. Yes. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. I think that makes sense. Yeah, we should not get comfortable in this material world. Otherwise, we're gonna stay here forever. Yeah.
Bag and baggage, Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you very much for your nice class, wonderful class, nice descriptive, expressive, explicit. Yeah, it was wonderful class, Prabhu. My question or realization or clarification from you, Prabhu, is that you said that Krishna was 5 years old when this pastime happened, something like that. And so in Golok, the ultimate of everything, Krishna is there also 5 years of age, or he comes to when he's performing his pastime, places like planet Earth, then he goes to that age, and then after that he never grows old. So what is that? His age, does he grow in Golok also? Is constant?
He is constant. It is no Yavanam. He is at his age of no Yavanam. I asked this question, but I was a little cautious about it. The sannyasi spent about 2 hours, did not speak with anybody else except me. I asked a similar question, Everybody else was waiting in line to talk to Maharaj, and he did not talk to anybody. He just was talking to me only. They all were so upset with me. I said, oh my God, what did I do? They all I think next time they'll never ask me to come and meet him. But yeah, so this time, he always know Yavana. He's around age. He did Krishna performed his Rasa Leela pastime when he was 7 years. You tell me. 7 years, you don't have any sexual feelings and all those things, So, yeah. Yeah. I think it's a bit of this forum may not be very appropriate to go further on the discussion.
And just so I'm coming to more specific. So when Krishna is doing this pastime on planet Earth, of actually from a young child to this age, that's where a lot of demigods and people come, and those great personality come to see him. That's what is that true?
It is said that Krishna's childhood pastimes are the best pastimes. It's not very easily available for everyone to see. And that's why they all come. Lord Shiva came to watch that, see that. But at the same time, there are also higher of the Rasa Leela pastimes are more. The Lord Shiva also wanted to be there, Narad Muni also became a gopi, for entering that pastime. Not allowed. Everybody's not allowed. You see. So yes, his childhood pastimes are very, very nice, very nectarian, and that's what attracts everybody. And his pastimes with the gopis are a little confidential, and that's the reason why only confidential devotees know about these confidential pastimes, and it's not easy to unravel their heart. Krishna in the heart unravels himself. So, did I answer your question? Is it okay?
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Lord.
Okay. Anyone else wants to say anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much for a nice class. Yes, the pastimes of Krishna is always attractive, and it's very nice to hear. And as you nicely explained, that devotees, what you will achieve or what you will get by hearing it, that you will forget your material miseries and material turbulence. So yeah, the point I was thinking that you explained, Prabhuji, that Shital Prabhu also asked that Nitya Baddha, like we are conditioned souls, eternally bound here. So we are more prone to misuse our free will. Yeah, that point I was thinking that once we go to Golok Vrindavan, how come we can come back or fall down again? But because we are more prone to misuse the free will, or maybe we want to see the material world, and that's why we come here. Is that right, Prabhuji, or is it something more explanation on that?
Everyone in the material world is Nitya Baddha, okay?
Yes.
And they're prone to falling down. Everyone, okay? Now, even if you see the material world, if we have something very good with us, maybe we have a good relationship with somebody, a good friend, a good wife, a good husband, a good association, we still live them because we think the other thing may be better, Now we may say it's Maya. All right, that's right, Maya. But where does the free will come from? Don't be so this thing, hide behind Maya. We have to take some responsibility for ourselves also, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when we have got a situation where we have it in our hands and we just let it go because we think, oh, that must be better than this. And for some misunderstanding, which we ourselves create, we lose everything. Is it not so?
Yes.
So it is the same way we misuse our free will and then we blame Maya. Because in the spiritual world, there is no Maya. It is only a free will existing. You see? And the free will is so stubborn. And Krishna will never interfere with our free will. He'll allow the free will to go. That's why somebody plays with Krishna. They all want to touch Krishna, They're somebody playing like a frog. That's what they do. Krishna allows it. Somebody becomes a demon,
Yes.
And all this, Rasul also got initially Sayujya and then Sarupya Mukti afterwards. Imagine this. This shows the potency of Krishna's mercy. Vagasur, the first was Sayujya, impersonal liberation, and then Sarupya, similar bodily feature. Mukti.
Yes.
So we are prone to fall down. In the material world, don't go too far away. We see this, no? And then we say, oh, I made a mistake. I should not have done this. And then once, twice, thrice, you keep on doing the mistake. How long will it go? Why to blame others? Take some responsibility yourself, Is this all right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, you rightly said that. Yeah. It's our responsibility because we have been given this free will. So
yeah.
Yes.
Maharaj says, man, you are sitting nicely here with devotees. Nice association is there. Something happens and you get upset and you walk away, man. Maharaj would say like this. And when some mamra, the khichdi which you given to is not very good for you, so you walk away. Somebody says something, you go away. And then you say what? And then you know you have lost so much big things. And remember one thing, an honest association of honest devotees, association of very honest devotees whose only interest is your well-being. If you lose that association, there is no bigger fool than you. Afterwards, whatever you want to do, you made this error of judgment. And as I said, an association could be devotee association, the greatest, friends, relatives, husband, wife, parents, whoever it is. So it is very intelligent. To whatever you have got, you should know how to preserve it. Krishna says that I preserve what you have and I give what you lack. So Krishna knows what is preservation. We should also know what is important for us. That
Yes.
person who can really, really utilize his time to think intelligently and appreciate what he has got will always be a happy person. I'm telling you this. Yeah? Is this okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, because by free will also, like association of devotees, we get it the mercy of Krishna, but then you use your free will, and you'll get encouragement to use your free will in a right way.
Yeah.
Because yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I have
Hare
a
Krishna.
question here. So when you started the discussion, started with yogis, position of yogis, that how difficult path they choose. So and then also you said that I'm not correct. If I'm not correct, please correct me, Prabhuji. That they don't know the purpose of life. They have missed it or something like that.
Yeah, many of them have got their own meanings of purpose of life, different definitions of purpose of life.
Okay, so Prabhuji, my question is that what is the ultimate goal of a yogi? What do they actually meditating upon? Like generally devotees try to meditate upon Krishna's. They want to enter Krishna's pastimes, or they want to go back to Godhead, play with Krishna. That's what devotees desire. But what do these yogis desire? What is their desire? And also second question is that do they get chance to get association of Krishna, personal association of Krishna? Do they get chance anyway?
No. I mentioned in my discussion in the verse 7 to 11, that
Yes.
So in this way, all the cowherd boys used to play with Krishna. This was the purpose of the ultimate, yeah?
Yeah.
Then the next line it says that who is the effulgence of Brahman, who is the source of Brahman effulgence for Jnanis, desiring to merge into the effulgence. So that's a Brahman for the Jnanis. For the Supreme Personality of Godhead for devotees who accepted his eternal servitorship. And yogis are what they want to achieve is completely. That's, nirvana. That's what meditation is, And some of them, they have got Paramatma realization, which is all right, but still, the topmost, what we're discussing here, is the topmost position of a living being they can achieve is to go and play with Krishna. And Krishna plays with them. You see? So yogi's topmost position is to go under the Brahman effulgence, merge into Brahman effulgence, or those who are into Paramatma realization, they've got the realization of Paramatma, and then they have got other Sarupya Mukti, Samipya Mukti, Shasti, this kind of liberation there.
Okay.
Yeah. Samipya Mukti.
Yes. So all kind of muktis, these 4 types of muktis. And
Yeah, 5. Whatever they want to achieve, they can do that. Whatever they want to achieve. Because yogis have also got big definition. See,
yes,
there's some are impersonalism also, impersonalists also. They got impersonal liberation. Then there are some of them are personalists also in a way, you know, but Paramatma realization. So they've got their own different kind of muktis they've got.
yes.
But for devotees, this is a very special kind of mukti, which is beyond everything else. It's paramukti, you know. So it's Prabhupada has given this. It hits you at a very later stage, you know, when you become very serious, you know. That's when it hits you what Prabhupada has given us. Beyond all this. When Prabhupada says the devotees above all these things, we say, yeah, devotees above all these things. And we have our 7-up and chanting our rounds, and we had chocolate and all those things, and we say, devotees above everything. But when we really seriously study, we understand what Prabhupada has given us. You know, beyond all these muktis, you know, be with Krishna, playing like with him like a frog. What is Krishna doing? He's playing with a frog. You know? It's a frog. It is also mentioned that once when Mother Yashoda, Rohini, the mother of Balaram, Rohini Mata, she wanted to call them, you know, please come, food is ready. And the description is given that Krishna and Balaram are playing with all the cowherd friends, you know. They were less than 5 years old. And they were completely absorbed in their playing, meditating. They don't hear, listen, anything. All of them are absorbed in their things. So Mother Rohini is calling them and they don't listen to him. Listen to her, you know. Come, food is ready and all that thing. And then she thought intelligently that better than me is Mother Yashoda. They listen to her. So let me call her because the time is going up for the lunchtime. And they're playing. You know, we used to do that. I also do that. We used to do that. You know, Mother used to call me and I also don't listen, you know. So then Mother Yashoda calls. She comes. And they are still absorbed. It is mentioned they are completely absorbed in their playing, you know, like frog and all these things only, fully fooling around like this, you know. But when she said, listen, please come, take your shower, because today is Balaram's appearance. And now Nanda Maharaj are waiting for you. He's sitting for you. Plates are ready. That's when, oh, Nanda is waiting for me. That's when they went running, you know, and they were bathed and all those things. You see? Yeah. So this position is so topmost. We cannot even imagine, we cannot fathom. So all these other yogis and all, they may have the sampradayas and they may achieve certain goals, no doubt about it, you know. So we should be convinced that in the sampradaya we are in, the knowledge that we are getting in is topmost.
Yes.
Because they may think of what playing with Krishna has got nothing there. What are you doing playing with Krishna? It's useless, you know, what people are doing. Right. So they may minimize what we are doing also to that extent. Is this okay?
Yes, Rabbi. Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Just want to ask just clarification that as Mataji said that the yogi's ultimate goal, is that spiritual suicide? That's their ultimate goal?
Spiritual suicide is mentioned for Sayujya Mukti, where Brahman effulgence is considered spiritual. Merging into Brahman. Yeah. Because from there, the following is very much there. Because eternally, there is no happiness there. This playing with Krishna is not there. Just like dust, as mentioned, you know, they won't even touch the dust of the lotus feet, you know. Their enjoyment is not there.
So that's one type of mukti. Another
that is called spiritual suicide. Yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls it spiritual suicide.
Right. That's not goal for all the yogis. It's just particular one sect or one.
Yeah, I mean, there are many yogis, you know. So there are many kinds of yogis, you know. So we can generally classify into that whether they want to personalists and they Brahman as to Paramatma realization. And Jnanis have got Brahman effulgence in merging. But these are all interchangeable in many ways. That's my understanding.
Yes, thank you.
Because his words are interchangeable too. Okay, wonderful. So we will finish our discussion today with this. Thank you very much. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shinitai Gaur Chandra Premanande, Hari Hari Bol Granthrat Srimad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. Now, whose turn is it today to sing? Is Navina's turn, sure? Subhadas. You always fool me, Navina. What is this? You always make me a fool all the time. Okay, Subhadra. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Subhadra, Hare Krishna Madhav, Hare Krishna Navina. आप सब ठीक है?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. चलिए, now start, eh? Subhadra. Start. 1, 2, 3, start.
Maharaj, please hear us.
Maharaj, please hear us.
We have learned some real good stuff.
We have learned some real good stuff.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
Maharaj, we have learned one thing.
And today for you we will sing.
And today for you we will sing.
If our room is clean,
If our room is clean,
then our mind is clean.
then our mind is clean.
If our mind is
If our mind is
clean,
clean,
we can do anything.
we can do anything.
If our room is dirty,
If our room is dirty,
then so are we.
then so are we.
But if we are dirty,
And if we are dirty,
we're not happy.
we're not happy.
Wasting time.
Wasting time
is the greatest crime.
is the greatest crime.
Because wasted time
Because wasted time
means a wasted mind.
means a wasted mind.
So best use your time.
So best use your time
When you're in your
when you are in your prime.
prime. And your whole life.
And your whole life
will be sublime.
will be sublime. If your wealth is gone,
then there is nothing wrong.
then is nothing wrong.
If your health is gone,
If your health is gone,
then that's a different song.
that's a different song.
If your character
If
dies,
your character dies,
then the world will cry.
then the world will cry.
Only saintly behavior.
Only saintly behavior lets humanity thrive.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We must always remember Krishna and never forget him too. But how are we to practice this with so many things to do? That is the greatest question. And here is the greatest clue. You must learn to work so nicely that Krishna remembers you. So listen very closely and make your thinking sharp. Let's learn how we can live and work so Krishna won't depart. If something's due tomorrow,
finish it today. And whatever's due today, do it now, don't delay.
Might be lazy.
Your friends might be lazy
or doing bad
or
things.
doing bad things,
But you think again.
but you think again,
Don't follow them.
don't follow them,
And you will win the end.
and you will win the end.
Whatever work we given,
Whatever work we give them,
we do our really best.
we only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest.
We only live with what we need and give Krishna the rest. This is how to live, to work and to play. You learn to live this way, you'll see Krishna every day. When the time is up, you take a step above. You sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
And when our time is up, he'll take us up above. We sing and dance with him with a heart full of love.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame. His only and his love will ever become same.
So chant Krishna's name, his glories and his fame is the only way this world will ever become sane.
Now please ask this greatest question.
Now please ask this greatest question
And find this greatest clue.
and find this greatest clue.
You can only remember Krishna.
You can only remember Krishna if Krishna remembers you.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai.
Jai Zuline Shila Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Balaram Ki Jai. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Mahavishnu Goswami Niti Namini. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashaktade Sarine. Jai Hari.